D'Souza. She knocked on the door earlier than usual. Mia, wake up, Mr. Jordan will be waiting for you in the university. She signed, knocking on the door once more like expected. She received no reply. Waking up this man was always a hard job, but what confused her is that she wasn't even responded with a single groan from him. Mia, Mr. D'Souza, as she slowly opened the door, calling him once more before she peeked in only to see the bed all neat and tidy. Mia, how come the room was all empty with no soul in it? The women blinked, trying to believe the fact that her not so punctual boss has already left. Jason, just on time, he said, satisfied that he has finally gotten rid of the bad influences of his friend. Jason, nothing feels more better than being the first one. He nodded his head, looking around after days of separation. Jason, this is the last chance to have this feeling, he stated, considering the fact that it's their last semester. Jasper, no man, I know them. Jason was startled before turning towards his friend and huffed. Jason, what do you mean? Jasper smirked as he put his arm over his friend's shoulder. Jason looked at his hand and then at him, raising his eyebrow. Jasper, don't let your first to be your last. Come, I will introduce you to them. He stated, pulling a confused Jason with him until he saw them moving towards the girls. Jason, what the heck? I wasn't staring at them. He growled, immediately pushing him away. Jasper, stop being so shy. It's our age. You know, Jason felt the strong urge to throw him a punch over his friend, yet the man was forced to control it. Jason, being young doesn't make you a dog who wag his tail and rule over anyone he sees, he stated, moving towards their department. Jasper, then what I am an Aden. Jason snorted, pushing his hand in his pants, and he walked casually. Jason, not a dog at least. Jasper smiled, following him behind. Jason, at least dogs have loyalty. And just like that, Jasper was roasted behind. Scarlett, I will catch up after the class. She waved her hand, departing towards her destination as Ellen moved hurriedly towards hers. Ellen, he still hasn't called, she sighed as soon as she saw a familiar figure standing at the entrance of her department. Ellen stopped for a second, blinking at the man, busy leaning down on the railing. A few stairs, the man was staring down at his shoes. It's him yet again, the girl breathed out, busy putting her cell phone back as she walked towards the man who was nothing but a stranger in her path. As she walked around, her steps sticking to her path only, the sound reaching his ears, letting him aware from her presence. Adam blinked, pulling his head to look up at her, the face his eyes was thirsty to see. He looked up at her once and couldn't look away. It didn't matter to him. He was the least worried about the impression he has left on her with his constant stares. With her hands clenching on the notepad over her chest, the girl quietly walked past him, wondering why this familiar yet a foreign man is always found around her department. Eden, who has lost his senses, stared at her from the moment he looked up till the last glimpse of her. But strangely, his heart was as empty as before. Eden, why can't you just look back at once? He signed out, seeing her after months and still having no attention. Was it really enough to have this much no, it wasn't, right? Eden, you chose a hard one. He talked to himself, patting his vibrating heart, smiling at the fact that he was just so much in love with her. The man dropped his every bit of hesitation today. Jason, where is he? Literally, he groaned as he was done inquiring Mia, only to find out that Eden has gone long ago. Jasper, probably with his beauty, he murmured enough for him to hear. Jason, and you didn't even bother to tell me. He looked at his friend in great disbelief, yet Jasper only sneered carelessly. Jasper, why would I? I'm not even a loyal dog, remember? Jason shook his head in disappointment. Jason, you are so pathetic, he stated, walking out of the department. Jasper, where are you going? We are missed the half of our lecture. He called out his friend, who didn't bother looking back. Jasper hastily picked his backpack from the ground and ran after his friend. That's it for today. Make sure to work on your assignments. Ellen signed at the first day of work, closing her books aside before she once again checked her cell phone. Ellen, why won't he reply? With all his texts left at read and line of her unattended calls, she couldn't help but feel tense. Rowan, why aren't you accepting? She sang before deleting the text, biting her forefinger as she wondered how to reply. Are you okay? Everything's fine. Why aren't you back to attend university? She hesitated for a moment before pressing on. Are you okay? Is everything fine? Why aren't you back to attend university? She hesitated for a moment before pressing on the send button, wondering if this text will be replied or not. As she kept her eyes on the screen in hope, only to saw a notification of another text. Ellen, Mrs. Smith. She opened the chat box and looked at the picture sent by her. It was Rowan with a girl. She bit her lips as she stared at those pictures before another text appeared. We attended a family gathering last night since you were a part of our family. Now I thought to send some to you too. She read the text and scrolled up again, staring at his friend, which was probably giving a biggest smile while he stood close to the girl. And your Rowan has partied hard last night. He is very tired and taking rest. Make sure not to disturb him. Ellen took a deep breath as if it can cool her down. Her hands remained fisted as she replied to the text. Thank you, Mrs. Smith, and don't worry, Rowan's health is important to me too. I will wait until he contacts me. She locked her cell phone, putting it aside, covering her face with her hands before she pushed her locks away. He was lying. He was clearly lying when he said he will take care of his family. Helen stood there outside, leaning on the locker of the specific one. He looked at every face that passed through him, probably surprised yet impressed by his appearance. With his already bit of patience running thin, the man looked around with the crowd, leaving him with nothing but silence and loneliness. Eden, where is she? He asked impatiently, determined. Eden, where is she? He asked impatiently, determined to talk to her today. The man didn't dare to giving up the wait. But before he could move towards the classroom, he saw her coming out with not so happy face. It seemed like the lecture wasn't as smooth as she hoped. Alan, excuse me, he blinked through away only to find out that the girl has already reached him. And oh, my bad. His lips moved into a genuine smile as he immediately slid away from the locker. Alan took a deep breath, seeing her busy with her locker. The man took his time to muster up the courage. Eden, it seems like the lecture didn't went well, he said as soon as she closed the locker, fearing that girl slip away once more. Ellen frowned, looking at the stranger being so casual with her, and the fact that this stranger is very person who takes his time to stare at her almost every time he sees her. Ellen, sorry, with her mood already on the peak. Eden, on the other hand, failed to get the warning sign. Eden, you seem tense. Is the professor giving you a hard time? He asked, still admiring her sharp gaze, her flushed cheeks due to messed up emotions, and surely the lips she kept pressing with one another. Ellen, move out of my way, she queried, said, didn't find any reason to bear his unreasonable question. Ellen, that's quite rude, you know. You should answer if someone asks you a question. The more he smiled, more Ellen felt blowing up. The smile which can drive any woman crazy. Ellen had hard time tolerating it, finding it the most unreasonable thing she saw in her life. Ellen, nobody is obligated to, especially when such questions are asked by a creepy stalker like you. Ellen's smile vanished immediately as he heard the word creepy stalker and the tone she used for him. God, is she asking for a trouble? Ellen, as much as low his tone was, he held more danger. His eyes, which had gentle love in them a while ago, was now coated with a cringe attachment. Ellen, you're really something. She half hearing him calling her name. Ellen, you're having a bad day, so I will take it as an account of your behavior. His hand fisted on the sides of as he glared at the girl in front of him. Ellen, you know what's funny? She took a step closer to him and looked into his eyes. Ellen, that I don't even need a reason to treat you like this. Get that inside your skull. His jaw clenched, the gentle movement of his chest turning fast. Ellen, now move. I don't have time to waste on no one like you. His eyes slanted, giving a piercing look at the moment, purposely bumped her shoulder into his because the man refused to move away. The sound of her each step clicking in his mind like a hammer, she walked proudly with her usual graceful steps. It was something he used to admire until now, when her each step seems to be crushing his self-esteem. His body trembled with anger, overcoming his conscience. He turned around harshly with her bruised ego. Ellen Jones, he growled, seeing the girl already left, yet the crazy anger in his urge to hunt her like his parents claim her as a reward of his victory. Jason, Adam, stop.